Boy, what a week it has been for wrestling. We've had countless and countless hours of wrestling programming. So much I didn't even know what to do with. I watched so much, I feel like I need to be in a straitjacket at this point. Like I'm losing my mind, and it makes sense if you look at the handle, right? That being said, I only watch the weekly shows, and on the weekend I focused my free time on watching All In. But I have to say, if I think something shit, that I'm gonna call it shit. It doesn't matter what company or promotion it is. If I think it's shit, I'm gonna call it that. I'm not gonna just sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna glaze one company or the other. I want to be positive and I want more eyes on wrestling, but if I believe something is awful, I'm gonna call it that. But enough yapping about that. Let's get into some Monday Night Raw. Did anybody have Paul Heyman cutting a promo? Or at least he delivered a few lines in Spanish. I didn't have that on my bingo card. It's nice to see some dissension within the group already. Seth being in shock that Braun Breaker took the mic right away to cut a promo. Paulie over here is in shock as well, going back and forth with Seth, kind of like, oh, I didn't know he was going to do that. Braun is kind of stating facts, though. Sammy's look and physique, they're questionable. That being said, Sammy and KO are two guys that don't have the look, but damn, can they work. They're brilliant in ring and on the mic. They know how to tell a story, to keep a story going. I mean, we could look back at KO building up a whole feud, well, not feud, a storyline between him and Stone Cold for WrestleMania. Like, Stone Cold never showed up. KO built that matchup by himself. I always give him a lot of respect for that because that was incredible to see. There was a stupid backstage segment with Dom and AJ. Dom asked Finn and JD if they brought the cake that clearly says on it in camera shot, "Get well soon, Dom," from AJ. Then Dom is somehow surprised by this, and we just see AJ creeping behind some curtains, just giving him the "I'm watching you" look, and I just want them to have their match already, if I'm being honest. Roxanne versus Kairi Sane. Why do people rate Rox so highly? This was a botch fest, and she was throwing some of the worst punches. Her punches were worse than Yeet Man's. She looked like she was fighting off sleep paralysis demons the way she was swinging at Kairi. And I'm only being hard on her because too many people hype her up that she should be in the main event picture or she should be women's champion by the Royal Rumble. She looks like she's running in quicksand in the ring. Like she can't get enough speed or momentum. Nothing she does lands right or with some oomph. She botches the finish and gets rolled up by Kairi. The end. Sammy is attacked on his way to the ring by Karrion once again. He's hitting the taped ribs with the pipe. I think this is the second week in a row he does that. And then he still decides to have the match with Braun Breaker after. Sami Zayn, for as great a guy as he is, isn't really smart. Becky Lynch is becoming a crazy cat lady with her conspiracies that Bayley and Lyra planned for a draw in their match. Doesn't make it any better that Bayley and Lyra interrupt. They sound like two exes bickering. Bayley's calling out Lyra for costing her the title match weeks before. Then Lyra starts piping up, "Oh, now you're talking to me? Now I exist?" Like, what the fuck is this? She's straight up just oh, now you want to talk to me? Now I exist to you when it's convenient? Like, what is this dialogue? What is this script? I don't know what else to say other than the match better deliver. I'm going to do it. Ludwig Kaiser as El Grande Americano is a win-win. I know, breaking kayfabe, but he gets more of a spotlight. And if they want to do two Grande Americanos later on and give us that Spider-Man pointing meme, that'd be great. Definitely a markish thing to say. But Ludwig is also taking this opportunity and showing out good in ring work, even though he's having to wrestle a different style. Moving on to another segment with Goldberg. I don't know what to say other than fuck the live crowds. Jesus. They are chanting for Goldberg so loud. For what? This man is taking away an opportunity that could have been given to someone like LA Knight. What is it about Goldberg in 2025 that appeals to these people? Do they think they're going to get some 5-star classic? I mean, I didn't even watch the match yet, but from what I've heard from my younger sister and comments, it looked like elder abuse the way Gunther was out there beating Goldberg's ass. And in other news, Penta is so over, and it's amazing to see how well he connects with crowds. He interacts with them a lot, gets them to give him loud cheers when needed. He understands the importance of working a crowd and getting them involved, adding to the excitement and driving a story as old as time of a heel versus a babyface. And Penta versus Seth Rollins was a great TV match. It had high spots, they wrestled at such a high pace throughout, lots of back and forth, and the crowd was actually pretty electric for it. On to NXT. Ricky Starks has a gauntlet match against the Three Stooges of Ethan Page. If he wins, he gets to have another shot at Ethan Page at Great American Bash. Of course he wins. Hank and Tank backstage hyping themselves up to defend their tag titles later in the evening. They're interrupted by Javon Evans, who only gets out a few words before he's blindside tackled into a garage door. I mean, it sounds stupid, but it looked hilarious and was to build his match with Jasper Troy at the Great American Bash. And he does attack him throughout the show. They just keep showing shots of Javon Evans just getting his shit handed to him throughout the whole arena. On to the segment with Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe having a spa glamour day together. Who is this supposed to appeal to? Like, seriously, I don't think this is something that's going to appeal to just the regular hardcore wrestling fans. Are you trying to appeal to casuals with this? Are you trying to appeal to women that might see this and be like, hey, maybe I should tune in and see what these women are doing on the show? I just don't get it. But the Evolution Summit that was technically the main event of the show, if anything, just showed us how much talent there is in the women's divisions from NXT to the main rosters. And somehow we just keep getting Rhea as champion or a title contender. And next is Dynamite. Honestly, AEW, as much as people are trying to make it seem like they're not on the come up, sure, the ratings aren't that impressive yet, but they're slowly surging back up, getting their weight beneath them. And All In definitely helped a ton. Tony's amazing, and I'm glad she won at All In. Spoiler. But Toni Storm is the whole damn package. Even through the persona, she's just so great on the mic. She's a good worker, and she's a phenomenal storyteller. MJF and Mark Briscoe, battle of words. Great jabs and one-liners by both. I would have preferred if they had a feud between them than the Casino Gauntlet match. But one thing I have an issue with is that MJF always goes for the cheap heat. He needs new one-liners that don't include his favorite words, poor, pores, and poorer. Tremendous fatal four-way with Megan Bayne, Queen Aminata, Ty Mello, and Tekla. Bayne is oozing potential. She has the physique, the height. She definitely still needs time to perfect her in-ring work. Tekla definitely has the in-ring work down. She's a good, strong style practitioner. Aminata's a solid worker too, and as for Ty, I feel like she just needs more time to ease into being in the ring again. Finally, on to SmackDown. LA Knight opens up SmackDown. He's interrupted shortly by Paul Heyman. There's nothing like a good segment with two guys that are so great on the mic, they could sell you a used toilet. That's just how great they are at yapping. The White Six win the tag titles. They beat the Street Profits. I'm gonna try not to be so rude and an asshole at this part. But are we seriously gonna get something with Jelly Roll and Logan Paul at SummerSlam? Like, this is getting out of hand. Is Triple H still cooking? It's like wrestling is becoming a damn circus. TKO just wants to bring in celebrities for matches and segments and angles. Like, for what? We don't need celebrities in wrestling at all. Tiffany tells Trish, I remember watching you on VHS tapes, Trish, or something along those lines. It just sounded so stupid. And just Trish giggles and just says, oh, something about how, oh, I'm not that old, honey. But it's just her delivery. And what was that line? That was This Week in Wrestling. See you next week.